Welcome to Witches in Yoga Pants, your cozy corner of the cosmos where modern magic meets everyday life. We're here to explore magic, mindfulness, and personal growth with a grounded, no-fluff vibe. Whether you're into moon rituals, tarot spreads, or just trying to survive Mercury retrograde, you are in the right place. So get ready to disrupt some old patterns, explore what it means to reclaim your power, and remember who you really are. So pull up your yoga mat, light a candle, and let's get into it. Welcome back to Witches in Yoga Pants. I'm really glad you're here. As this episode comes out, the winter solstice has just passed. Yesterday was the longest night of the year. It's that quiet hinge where one season ends and another begins. Even though your calendar has already moved forward, the energy of the solstice doesn't just simply disappear. It lingers in a way that you can feel if you pay attention. There's a softness in the air, and it's a different kind of quiet, and a subtle instinct in the body to slow down just a little more than usual. That's why I wanted to talk about it today, because even the day after, we are still standing in the doorway between darkness and the returning light. This time of year, everything in nature begins to change its pace. The nights stretch a little longer, the mornings arrive with less urgency, and even if your daily responsibilities haven't shifted, the tone underneath them feels different. Nature is resting. It's pulling inward, it's conserving energy, and it's preparing for what comes next. On some level, our bodies do the exact same thing. And you might not consciously think about winter or solstice, but your system feels it. You notice yourself craving more rest, taking things a little slower, or even just wanting more quiet than usual. And this is not a lack of motivation. This is a natural response to the season. Winter brings a kind of internal reset that we don't always allow ourselves to take. We spend so much of the year in motion. We're finishing projects, meeting expectations, moving from one phase to the next. So when the world stops and it shifts into a slower rhythm, it can feel strange at first. But there's something grounding about honoring the seasonal shift. There is something regulating about letting yourself settle into a pace that matches what your nervous system is already asking for. And something deeply human about recognizing that rest and reflection are not luxuries. They are necessary parts of our internal cycles. For as long as humans have lived on this planet, people have noticed this moment in the year. You didn't have to belong to any particular tradition to feel it. The longest night made itself known. People gathered together, rested, lit candles or fires, and marked the shift in simple ways. The details varied from place to place, but the heart of it was always the same, noticing the transition, acknowledging the dark season, and welcoming the slow return of light. You don't need to know anything specific about cultural celebrations to connect with that idea. It's enough to understand that across time and place, people recognize this night as meaningful. And what matters now is what it means for you. The winter solstice marks a point where darkness reaches its fullest expression before the light begins to grow again. And you might not see change immediately, but the shift has already happened. Little by little, the days will lengthen. The return of light is quiet at first, and it's almost unnoticeable, but it's unmistakable once you tune in. This is one of the reasons the solstice can be so grounding. It reminds us that change often begins in small, subtle ways. And not everything needs to be big or dramatic or immediate to be real. This season invites you to trust slow beginnings. It invites you to release the idea that clarity has to arrive all at once, or that new energy needs to come with a big surge of motivation. Some transitions happen gently. Some unfold at their own pace without urgency. And sometimes beginnings start in rest, not action. I think that's where many of us struggle. We often expect ourselves to be energized, forward-focused, and ready to start fresh before we've even given ourselves time to recover from what we've just lived through. The solstice offers a different kind of rhythm. It gives you permission to pause, and it reminds you that reflection is part of movement. It helps you see the value in slowing down rather than trying to force momentum. This is why so many people feel such a mix of emotions this time of year. You might feel tiredness, sensitivity, nostalgia, introspection. Your mind is processing the year behind you. Your body is recalibrating, and your energy is preparing for the next cycle. But it isn't ready to take that step yet, and that's okay. Winter is not meant for initiating, it's meant for settling. Think about it. When nature goes into winter, nothing is blooming, but everything is preparing. Roots are strengthening, soils restoring, and systems are resetting. It's a season that looks quiet, but it's full of necessary internal work happening beneath the surface. And you are no different. The quiet moments you give yourself now will support the choices you make in the season ahead. This is a good time to check in with yourself gently and honestly with curiosity. What feels complete from the past year? What's still unfolding? What are you tired of carrying? Where has your energy shifted? What feels important now that didn't feel important 12 months ago? These questions don't need immediate answers. Sit with them. Let them sit with you. Let them simmer without forcing clarity. Winter isn't asking you to know everything. It's asking you to notice yourself, to recognize what needs rest, to acknowledge what you've been avoiding, and to allow things to settle before trying to move forward. Clarity often arises from stillness, not effort. Working with the solstice energy doesn't require a big ritual. In fact, the simpler your practice is during this season, the more grounded and effective it usually becomes. You might sit in a dark room for a few minutes before turning on a single soft light or lighting a candle, allowing yourself to feel the shift from stillness into gentle illumination. You might tidy or reset one small space in your home. It can be a nightstand, a drawer, a workspace, just enough to create a little sense of openness. And then take a slow walk or simply step outside for a few breaths of air. Notice the way the air feels against your skin. You might even go to bed earlier without apologizing for it. You might choose one thing you're ready to release and one thing you're ready to invite in. Even if those things are simple qualities like more rest, more clarity, more gentleness, more alignment. What matters is not the ritual itself, but the intention behind it. These small practices help your body recognize that you're shifting seasons internally, not just externally. As the days begin to lengthen again, slowly and gradually, you might notice your energy changing a little at a time. You might begin to feel more open, more curious, or more ready to think about what's ahead. But none of that needs to happen right now. The return of light mirrors the way personal renewal often unfolds, gradually, gently, without urgency. So, as you move through these days following the solstice, pay attention to what feels like it's settling, what feels like it's loosening, and what feels like it's quietly asking for your attention. Let yourself rest where you need to rest and reflect where you need to reflect. This time of year is about creating space for yourself, space to process what the last year held, space to release what has become too heavy, and space to allow a new season to form without rushing it in. This is the quietest part of the year, but it's also one of the most meaningful. It's an invitation to reconnect with yourself in a slower, more honest way, and to prepare for what's coming by giving yourself what you need right now. Before I sign off, I want to say thank you. This podcast is still so new, and the messages you've sent and the support you've offered and the way you've embraced it in these early months means more to me than I can say. I'm grateful for every listen, every share, and every kind word. So, until next week, remember, rest is sacred, your light is returning, and you are right on time. Take what you've heard today even further by joining my newsletter community. Each week, you'll receive journal prompts and reflections connected to the episode that are designed to guide you in bringing these conversations off the podcast and into your own journey. Let's keep going deeper together. The link is waiting for you below.